Good morning, everyone. Today, we are going to talk about Zhuangzi. Based on the ideological and methodical system of Tao originated from Laozi, he built up his theory of freedom. In this video, Zhuangzi and his work will be introduced, and later Taoism, a spiritual, philosophical, and religious tradition of Chinese origin, will be discussed. Zhuangzi, with the given name of Zhou and the costume name of Zixu, born in the Henan province of Song in the Warring States period. He is regarded as one of the representatives of Taoism succeeding Laozi. Living roughly at the same time with Liang Huiwang and Qi Xuanwang, he once served as the royal officer in charge of lacquerware production. Chu Weiwang admired his virtue and talent and tried hiring him as a prime minister of the kingdom, but was turned down by Zhuangzi due to his inborn unrestrainable soul, which cost him lifetime poverty without regret. Eventually, he left after his life the book of Zhuangzi that has been passed down, been held for thousands of years. Zhuangzi, also named Enjoyment in Untroubled Ease, is the collection of Zhuangzhou's and his followers' work. After Han Dynasty, the book is honored as Nanhua Jing, one of the sculptures of Taoism, for its colonial stature in Taoism. The book consists of a large collection of anecdotes, analogies, parables, and fables, which are often humorous or irrelevant in nature. Its main themes are of spontaneity in action and of freedom from the human world and its conventions. The fables and anecdotes in the text attempt to illustrate the forcelessness of human distinctions between good and bad, large and small, life and death, and human and natural. While other ancient Chinese philosophers focus on moral and personal duty, Zhuangzi promoted carefree wandering and becoming one with the way by following nature. Though primarily known as a philosophical work, the Zhuangzi is regarded as one of the greatest literal works in all of Chinese history and has been called the most important preaching text for the study of Chinese literature. A masterpiece of both philosophical and literal scale, it has significantly influenced the writers for more than 2,000 years, from the Han Dynasty to the present. Most Zhuangzi stories are firmly short and simple. Unlike other ancient Chinese works, those analogies were usually based on historical legends and proverbs. Most Zhuangzi stories seem to have been invented by Zhuangzi himself. Some are completely whimsical, while a few other passages seem to be sheer playful nonsense. Here, we are going to introduce 3 famous fables. The most famous of all Zhuangzi story, Zhuangzhou dreams of being a butterfly, appears at the end of the 2nd chapter on the equality of things. Once, Zhuangzhou dreamed he was a butterfly flitting and fluttering about, happy with himself and doing as he pleased. He didn't know that he was Zhuangzhou. Suddenly, he woke up and there he was, solid and unmistakable Zhuangzi. But he didn't know if he was Zhuangzi who had dreamed he was a butterfly or a butterfly dreaming that he was Zhuangzi. Between Zhuangzi and the butterfly, there must be some distinction. This is called the transformation of things. The well-known image of Zhuangzi wondering if he was a man who dreamed of being a butterfly or a butterfly dreaming of being a man is so striking that whole dreams have been written on this theme. The story of the debate on the joy of fish is a well-known anecdote that has been compared to the Socratic dialogue tradition of ancient Greece. Zhuangzi and Huizi was enjoying themselves on the bridge over Hao River. Zhuangzi said, "The melons are darting about free and easy. This is how fish are happy." Huizi replied, "You are not a fish. How do you know that the fish are happy?" Zhuangzi said, "You are not I. How do you know that I do not know that the fish are happy?" The exact point by Zhuangzi in his debate is not entirely clear. The story seemed to make the point that knowing a thing is simply a state of mind, and that it is not possible to determine if that knowing has any objective validity. Another well-known Zhuangzi story, drumming on a tub and singing, describes how Zhuangzi did not view death as something to be feared. Zhuangzi's wife died. When Huizi went to convey his condolences, he found Zhuangzi sitting on his legs sprawled out, pounding on the tub and singing. "You lived with her, she brought up your children and grew old," said Huizi. "It should be enough simply not to weep at her death, but pounding on a tub and singing? This is going too far, isn't it?" Zhuangzi seemed to have viewed death as a natural process or transformation, where one gives up one form of existence and assumes another. In the second chapter, he makes the point that, for all humans know, death may in fact be better than life. How do I know that loving life is not a delusion? How do I know that in hating death, I am not like a man who, having left home in his youth, has forgotten the way back? His writings teach that the wise man or woman accepts death with equanimity and thereby achieves absolute happiness. Taoism is heavily influenced and informed by the acknowledged oldest text of ancient Chinese classics. Dao De Jing is widely considered the keystone work of this philosophy. Together with the writings of Zhuangzi, which interprets and adds to the teaching of Laozi, these classic texts provide the philosophical foundation of Taoism. The roots of Taoism go back at least to the 4th century BC. Early Taoism drew its cosmological notions from the school of Yin-Yang and was deeply influenced by one of the oldest texts of Chinese culture, I Ching, which expounds a philosophical system about how to keep human behavior in accordance with the alternating circles of nature. It is an indigenous religion in China. Lu Xun once said, "The Chinese roots are deep in Taoism. If one tries to comprehend Chinese history and culture, he must first comprehend Taoism and the Taoist religion. It evolved out of witchcraft and self-cultivation techniques. The Taiji Tu, as well as the Bagua, was associated with Taoist symbolism. The founder of Taoism is Zhang Daolin. He was called Tian Shi. The religion was founded in the Eastern Han Dynasty, developed during the Sui and Tang Dynasty, and then became very popular during the Southern and the Northern Dynasty, declined during the Ming Dynasty. Taoist temples are the places for Taoist priests to carry out their religious activities. The layout evolved from the traditional square-shaped Chinese courtyard, also resembling that of Buddhist temples in design. In front of Taoist temples, there are mountain gates, Huabiao, and Fangan. Outside, the Huabiao is the earthly world. Inside it is the celestial place. In the main hall are enshrined the three pure gods of Jude Pure, Upper Pure, and the Great Pure. Taishang Laojun was revered as the originator of Taoist religion. Taoism originated from the theories of Laozi and the Yellow Empire. It aims to preserve one's health, to cultivate one's morality, and to manage state affairs by doing nothing. The religion is a combination of philosophy and its secularization. Today, Taoism is one of 5 religions officially recognized in China, and although it does not travel readily from its Asian roots, claims adherents in a number of societies. Taoism also has sizable communities in Japan and in Southeast Asia.